Hello everyone, I am Monster Hunter Dude, and today I'm going to be telling you everything I know about Monster Hunter Rise. I have been reading both all the information in English and Japanese to try and get as much information as possible. So here we go. Number 1, the name. Monster Hunter Rise. Why is it called Monster Hunter Rise? Basically, according to Tsujimoto, they're going to raise the bar, raise it up to the next level, and give it a lot more movement and more options to traverse the very big open world. They're still sticking with the open world from Monster Hunter World, so hopefully they would implement it better than they did in that god-awful game, and you don't spend 90% of the quest just chasing around after a monster that's repeatedly flying away. And he's also said that he wants to go back to the roots as a primary handheld game. So hopefully, again, going back to what the older games used to be like before they were westernized and made rubbish. And so you can play locally with friends as well. Number 2. In Monster Hunter Rise, players can climb and run across surfaces, scale cliffs, and do all the usual stuff that you could pretty much do in World using the new wire bug mechanic, or tool, depending what you want to call it, that gives them like a mid-air grapple point. It's kind of like Spider-Man swinging from building to building, which can be used with weapon attacks or dodging or that kind of thing. I see it as a gimmick that will probably not really be used in a real combat, as there is much better ways to deal with that sort of thing. Number 3. Like I was saying before about the maps, this game will have the same kind of like large-scale open maps that Monster Hunter World did, and that I really hated because they were just too stupidly big. Instead of being broken into like separate sections with small loading screens, in Rise you'll be able to seamlessly travel from one area to the other without any loading screens and go up and down and all the normal usual stuff you could do in that game. Kind of something that we expected and knew about. Number 4. As well as the Palico, which I still think is a really stupid name for the felines, for the cats that you have in companions in the English version. I think it's really dumb. You can also train your own, I'm going to pronounce this in the Japanese way, which is Palamute, which is the wolf canine dog thing that you saw in the trailer that you could run around on. Basically, you can use it to run around and climb things and basically without using stamina, and it can attack during combat or have a few special abilities and attacks that it can use, and that's pretty much it as far as we know for the Palamute. Number 5, the monsters that were introduced. The stupidly named Magna Malo, which was like the big dragon type thing, the bird type Acnosom, the great Izuchi, and the Tetranadon. All those names are meh. The first one was more stupid than the others. What we know so far is basically the base monsters, what they're based off of. So, for instance, the great Uzuchi will attack with smaller monsters, and the Tetranadon is a large Zamtrios, basically, I think is the English name for that, and it will inflate itself, suck stuff up, and that kind of thing. Number 6, one of the ones that I'm actually looking forward to is the monsters during the hunt, so to speak, will actually have a lot more interactions between each other. Like in Monster Hunter World, the monsters would attack each other or team up or that kind of thing. So they're going to add a lot more of that in Rise, and they teased a few things related to it, but we haven't got any of the information about that just yet. But I'll keep my eyes open and ears open for that one. But it's one of the main mechanics I'm really looking forward to seeing. Number 7, Monster Hunter Rise, of course, has its own new starting area called Kamora Village, which Kamora in Japanese means like praise, happy, applaud. So that might feature into the storyline a bit. And it's going to play a host to a number of new characters that will help guide the game's story. And they will have English voiceovers, which I would definitely not be listening to. I prefer to listen or hopefully play in Japanese as much as I can. So number 8, the Monster Hunter Rise will have the same 14 weapons as Monster Hunter World did, which would be Greatsword, Longsword, Sword and Shield, Dual Blades, Hammer, Hunting Horn, Lance, Gun Lance, Switch Axe, Insect Glaive, Charge Blade, Light Bowgun, Heavy Bowgun, and Bow. One thing that won't be returning is the Prowler mode that was available in Generations and Generations Ultimate, or Double Cross as I call it. One of the new areas that you will be hunting in is called the Shrine. We don't really know much about this area, but it looks very dilapidated and looks like it's fallen to shambles and has been taken over by monsters. And finally, number 10, there will be a Monster Hunter Rise Collector's Edition. In this Collector's Edition, there will be a Palamute Retriever costume, so new armor for the wolf type thing, new costumes for the cats, a novice talisman to help you start early on in the game. There will be a Kimura layered armor set for the actual hunter that you choose, a shuriken collar Palamute layered armor piece, a fish collar Palico layered armor piece, a samurai pose set, a kabuki face paint. For those of you who don't know what kabuki is, it's a type of theatre which involves a lot of like face paint, masks, and face movements and that kind of thing. An Izuchi tail hairstyle, and 4 jumping gestures. There will always also be a Kimura mark, a pin of the new starting village, a Magnamalo amiibo, and 10 Monster Hunter Rise stickers. It will cost $100 or 100 euros or possibly £100 depending on what the country is. So that is everything I have found out so far. What are you looking forward to the most? Have you found out something that I haven't? Please comment, like, and subscribe, and tell me what you're looking forward to the most, or if I've missed anything out, or if you completely disagree with me about Monster Hunter World, but I've already made a video about that. Okay, good hunting.